All right. 1, 2, 3, down. Just kidding. This is when Luke has a 40-pound box dropped on his head full of bees. Hey, cows, come on, cows. Oh yeah. Welcome back all my chicken people here at 5 Acre Farms. I'm Luke.
I'm Caitlin, also known as the boss.
She got that one right. So, a lot of you guys probably don't know, but we have cows. We're not just a chicken farm. Even though today's video is not about chickens or cows. It's about bees. And we gotta go catch those swarms, or get the swarms traps down, get them back to the house. So that's what we're doing on today's video. But we just wanted to show our cows and introduce them because we have a lot of new people watching our channel. And if you guys want to see more of the cows, comment down below. We spend time with the cows every single day. We usually just don't film it. So I'll turn the camera around and introduce everybody. But we have 3 cows. The 3 main cows. The OG is Sweetie. She's the oldest. She's about 9. We have June over here. She's Sweetie's daughter. She's going on 5. Then we have Lucy down here, and this is her first daughter, Reba. Today is Reba's birthday. Is it your birthday, Reba? Yeah. Mom's got treats. So this is Lucy, and Reba, her calf. Lucy's getting big. She's only 3 years old. June, you look pretty big. Behind June is Annabelle. She's a heifer. She hasn't been bred yet. This is little Autumn. You're just the cutest, aren't you? That's Sweetie's calf. Yep, that's your little baby. And then we have Jane is here, and then Tuffy back there in the back. And then Marley, a little black and white one. And then Miss May. But they're all super friendly. They all eat out of our hands. And they're all registered Texas Longhorns. So if you guys want to see more videos with the Longhorns, we have one video where I was building fence and moving them. I need to move them out of this pasture and start rotating them now that it's spring and we got plenty of grass. But yeah, if you want to see more videos with the cows, because cows are awesome, we have 10 right now, and that's probably where we're going to be at for a little while. Sweetie, June, and Lucy should all be bred to calve here in July, August time frame. So hopefully we'll have 3 little calves on the ground ready to go. But for now, next year, all the heifers should be ready to breed. So we'll have hopefully 10 babies on the ground next year. But all right, tonight we're going to get swarm traps. So right now we're just kind of killing time till the sun sets. We gotta drive about 30 minutes to do that trap out and get that box, and then we'll grab the other 2 swarm traps on the way home. So we'll see you down south at that Langstroth trap out box. We're at the Langstroth hive, the trap out. There's a few bees we're gonna leave behind, but not many. That's probably the rest of them, but I left a swarm trap over here. Hung a swarm trap on the tree, so we're hoping that if a new swarm comes in, they will find that tree there. So we're gonna get these guys taped up. Go in the box. Yeah. We got the dogs coming for us. We're just gonna put a little tape over this. That'll keep them in there till we get home. It's already strapped tight, so. Oh man, this box is full of bees and nectar. It is much heavier than it was when I brought it here. So, other than that, this is the Langstroth box. Like I said, it's taped up. We're going to take this home and transfer them over to another box. So we have this one free if we need it again. And then we're going to go get the 2 swarm traps that are full of bees. So this is the box on the telephone pole we looked at in that last video. And this telephone pole is not connected to power. But on these swarm traps here, we have these discs on the front that rotate. And so, let me see that. So you can see you can rotate them from open to a mesh where no bees can get out. Bees can get out there, but the queen can't. That's a reducer, where the queen can't get out as well, but close it up like that. Take them home, don't have to worry about bees coming out. So I'm gonna reposition my ladder so I can get to the ratchet strap here. Hopefully it's not too heavy, because getting these things down is a lot harder when it's heavy, full of bees. That's why you want to get them down, preferably before they really get full of honey and nectar and stuff, because if they get really full, if you're putting them up here 10 feet off the ground, they can get extremely heavy and awkward to get up off the bolt and down. So, but this is a pretty good spot for a swarm trap, so we're gonna get these bees out of this box tomorrow morning, and probably tomorrow afternoon we're gonna get this box back over here. So it's definitely heavier than what it was when I put it up, but it's not crazy heavy. So it's probably a fairly small swarm. But I don't think they've been here but for a couple days. So they haven't packed a ton of new resources in comb. So, all right, we're gonna get this one loaded up, and we got one more to go get. We're gonna swing these by the house, drop them off. Driving up and down dirt roads is not fun. You gotta be really careful driving on the dirt roads with these swarm traps, because they have a lot of new comb, and especially when it gets hot. Temperature's down to 65 right now, but in the middle of the summer when the temperature's still at 85, 90 degrees, that comb is so warm and brittle, or soft. They pack it with honey and nectar, and it gets really heavy. And when you get on those bumps in the dirt roads, we've had them, these whole boxes, all the frames inside just collapse in it. These dirt roads suck, but you just gotta drive really slow, avoid potholes and stuff to get these boxes home without having all the comb collapse. Because once that happens, it kills like half the bees, and it's not good. So luckily we only got a couple miles to the house, and we'll drop these off, because then we got 7 or 8 miles of dirt road. But all right, Caitlin, you're gonna grab the ladder. I'll get the bees. This box is noisy. Let's see if I can't get my microphone up there and this one's the not so fun one to get because the ground isn't level. Let me pull my mic off and see if you guys can hear me. That box is buzzing. Hoping that one will go inside there. There we go. Got him. Sucker. You're going home with me now. Alright, let me clip this thing back on. We put a ratchet strap up here just to make sure. You don't want these boxes to move. Bees won't make a home in a box that's all wobbly and doesn't feel like a safe home. So we're going to pause the video here because there's a car coming. So I'm going to turn my light off so we don't have anybody coming by asking questions why we're 10 feet up in a tree grabbing boxes right off the highway. So we'll be right back after these commercials because we're not sponsored by anybody. And we're back. Thanks to nobody sponsoring us. All right. Hopefully this isn't heavy because this is going to be awkward. Yeah. My camera woman. Oh, sweet Jesus. That's a big swarm. All right. We're going to have to reposition because that situation is not convenient. That's not a very safe spot. Don't mind me, just using a garage sale ladder and uneven ground. It was free. All right. 1, 2, 3, down. Just kidding. This is when Luke has a 40-pound box dropped on his head full of bees with a lid that's not screwed shut. Oh. Oh. One step at a time. Oh, I'm getting a cramp in my elbow. Not good timing. All right. To the truck. To the Bee-Mobile 2.0. Yeah. The last 2 swarms we've caught at this location were both big swarms. And that's a big swarm. Yeah, you can see all their little legs trying to get out. That's the good part about it. They can still get some air. But we're going to strap these guys down because we don't want this lid blowing off on the way home. Got about a 10-mile journey.
Are you going to drive fast or something?
Well, no, but last thing I want to do is leave the bees in the middle of the highway at 10:30 at night. It's past my camera woman's bedtime.
That's a true statement.
Yeah. She didn't have a wireless mic on, so she can't talk back too loud. All right. The good thing is we can make blacktop all the way to about 1.5 miles from our house. So we only have 1.5 miles of slow, tedious dirt road driving. But that's probably one of the bigger swarms And they've only been in there for probably a week at most, or not even that, probably since Monday at most. I first saw them on Tuesday or Wednesday, and today is Friday. So 3 or 4 days. They can build a lot of comb in 3 or 4 days when they're swarming. So, and pack on a lot of nectar because they carry a lot with them when they swarm, but I think we're gonna have a bunch of bees in there. So tomorrow morning, when you guys see next clip tomorrow morning, bright and early, we're gonna get all 3 swarms moved into different boxes. So we'll see you in the morning right now. Good morning, folks. It's the next morning. We got all the swarms back, the 3 swarms. On the very first bee video, we said we only had 1 survive the winter, but actually hive number 4 survived. They had a little cluster of bees in there, and so they didn't have a queen. We're gonna open this little swarm trap up, which I don't think is a whole lot of bees in here. And if they're a small little swarm, I think we're going to try to combine the 2. So let's open these guys up for the first time. Yeah, it looks like a pretty small swarm. They're up here on the first 2 frames. It is 52 degrees this morning, so luckily they aren't going to get too worked up. Oh, pretty good amount of bees. There's a queen. Let's get her caught real quick. Where'd she go? Where'd you go, Miss Queen? I just saw you. You were a big old girl. There you are. Right up here. So, she's in here. So we're gonna hop into this hive real quick. Well, let me hop into that hive real quick and see if they have a queen. If they don't have a queen, that might work out perfect. Alright. Like I said, this is a pretty small little hive or group of bees. Alright, so since they have a queen, I'm just going to transfer some frames out of this swarm trap over, and then I'm going to leave the queen in here for today, and then I'll probably go ahead and release her tomorrow. You can tell the queen's in there still because all the bees are all about it. This one's a pretty... She's already laid eggs in this frame. So we're just going to put it right in there. Since there wasn't any brood in this box, it was pretty much all honey, we're going to put the brood frames up toward the front. This is a bigger swarm than I thought. Jesus Christ. This is almost all honey. This frame is like 10 pounds. Alright, so we're gonna leave the queen in this little queen cage. And I might move this queen cage up toward the brood where the bulk of the bees are for the day. Now that we have this hive cranking and they got a queen, when we come back to this box to pull her out, we'll probably go ahead and mark her. That way we know she's probably last year's queen, or she was born last year. She didn't look like she was born this year. But perfect. Now we have a really good hive. Instead of 2 small hives, we have 1 big hive. This was the swarm we got off the front porch of somebody's house. Those guys are doing awesome. And yep, 5 is empty. I say it's empty, but there's bees going in and out of it. And 2 is empty. So we got the Langstroth hive to put in 5, and then we got this one that was like 40 pounds. Let's see what kind of hive we got. I think it's a pretty good size hive. Oh yeah. They have pretty much built out every frame of comb in there. That is a full box. They should have a queen as big as a swarm as this is. They're not real happy I'm here. That's okay, we're gonna give you a new home. Bigger, better home. That is all new comb. And there's eggs in there, so there's a queen somewhere right there. You can't leave these guys out too long because they will start doing what I'm about to show you here. They just fill out their box so fast. Swarms just get after it. That's capped brood, so they've been in there for at least 9 days, I believe, is what capped brood is. Don't quote me on that. We're gonna have to do a little work on this frame. This is all. This was old comb, I believe. All capped honey on top here and brood in the middle. The queen should be on this frame or the next frame. I don't see her in here. They built all this comb, packed it full of honey. This is why you check your swarm traps every 2 weeks. I'm assuming they moved into this shortly after I put it out. If we would have retrieved this box on a 90-degree day, I would assume a lot of this comb would have collapsed, because it's just so new comb. This is all brand new comb. Beautiful. And we don't use foundation, so if you wanted to, you could just chop this right out and eat it the way it is. All brand new white comb. Looking for eggs. Yep, these have eggs in it. So she's a laying queen. I don't see her, but it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, pretty much this whole frame is, about half of this frame is full of eggs. There she is. She's right down there. Look at that big old queen. Holy smokes. That is a huge queen. Let's go ahead and get her in the box. That way we know she's in. That is an awesome queen. This hive is going to blow up. So, that is awesome to see. Gonna put this double in there. They can start building on it real fast. We're just gonna slide everything up here. When Jorge comes out here in the next couple days, we're going to go through and add frames where we need to add. Mark these queens. And get ready to make some honey. Out pretty quick, you can see these guys fanning. That means they're letting off their nasing off pheromone, which means they're telling everybody outside the box that the queen is here. So all these bees that are left over in the swarm trap will realize their queen's not in here. They'll move out and end up into the box. Perfect. That's an awesome swarm. That's what every swarm should be. Big old queen on her. Big booty Judy, is what we call that. Because she's probably last year's queen. She's mated. She's laying. Don't have to wait on her to do anything, or you don't have to make a new queen. So this box is ready to be closed up. We'll get back into it here in a few days. Like I said, number 4 here, we're gonna have to let the queen out of that little queen cage. I just want to make sure she's getting accepted by the other hive, or the other hive that was in there already. That way they don't kill her. But the swarm we moved in is bigger than the swarm that was in there, or the colony that was in there, so they should be fine. And the last hive, which is what I think is going to be the biggest. Hang on. Since these frames don't have any comb, we're not going to use them. We're going to add doubles. And I don't see any eggs in it. We're going to go ahead and add a double on the front. Oh man, this is all honey. If they don't have a queen, they don't have babies to protect. So what do? They start making honey. If they ain't feeding babies, they're making honey. And this is a full frame of honey. And I bet it's every bit of 8 pounds. Holy smokes, that's heavy. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. A little bit of bee bread in there, but almost all honey. So they've built out all these frames and pretty much completely filled them with honey. Ooh. That's pretty much all honey. We now have 5 full boxes. time to make some honey. That's it for today's video. We got our 3 swarms moved over here. You saw us go through them. 2 of them have awesome queens. Those guys are just making us honey. That's okay. And that's all I have for today's video. Hope you guys like the bee content. I know some of you don't care for it. I know we're a chicken farm, but understand that chickens aren't the sole purpose of this farm. We have pigs, like you can see behind us. We have cows. We have some exotic birds. We have ducks. We have geese. We have bees. We have our garden stuff. You got to have all that stuff to make a profitable farm for us. You can't just narrow it down to one thing like chickens. I know that's what most of you guys want to see, but our everyday life here on the farm isn't just chickens. It's everything else. And we got to do stuff like this to keep our farm going. So bear with us. If you don't like bee content, get over it, because we're going to have it. We're going to be spending honey here in the next couple weeks. So if you guys want access to some of our honey, keep watching our honey videos, because at the rate they're packing on honey right now, we're probably going to have enough to maybe ship a few jars. So stay with us. We love you guys. I said we, not I. We love you guys because Caitlin's here. And buy your honey local. Don't haggle with your honey supplier. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.